Good evening, everyone. Welcome to WSAZ Plus. I'm Taylor Eaton, joining you with updates on breaking news that we have been following here on this Tuesday evening. If you are just getting home, you're sitting down and you're watching with us, and maybe you missed what happened earlier today, let me get you caught up on what we've been following as I share some video with you. So earlier this afternoon, it was just before our 5 o'clock newscast, we started receiving phone calls into our newsroom from people that were very concerned. Many said that they were driving past the Marathon refinery in Catlettsburg and had noticed some big plumes of black smoke billowing in the air, which, viewers were saying, that just doesn't seem normal to us. We even had others that had called in and had said that they had heard what they said almost seemed like an explosion, and then saw those plumes of smoke that were billowing into the skies above. So now we know exactly what was causing that, and I'll share more about that with you here in just a moment. But let me give you some perspective on what we were seeing here from WSAZ. So our meteorologist had turned our weather camera around to give us a better view. This is actually our Huntington weather camera, but we were able to turn this around to show you during our 5 and our 6 p.m. newscast what we were seeing. And it's a lot different than what viewers were seeing that may have been driving through the area or those that live close to the refinery. This was all we were able to see, was that thick plume of smoke that was billowing into the sky. So at that point, we started reaching out to contacts in the area, different 911 centers, emergency management directors, to try to see what was going on. And we had put in multiple phone calls to Marathon, to the company itself, and had left messages during those hours to try to find out more information about what was going on. And it was around that time we were getting reports of a big power outage all the way into South Point, Ohio. We even took a power hit at our station at one point during that and wondered, did that have anything at all to do with this? Well, now we can share with you a statement from the company. We just received that moments ago. It was just after our 6 p.m. newscast wrapped up that we received a statement from their media relations. Let me share that with you. It was about 6:33 that came into our newsroom. And here is what that statement from Marathon says. It begins by saying, as a result of a third-party power interruption, operating conditions at the Catlettsburg refinery made flaring necessary. Flares are safety devices that allow for the safe combustion of excess materials under certain operating conditions. Trained teams are addressing the situation as quickly and safely as possible. No injuries have been reported, and all employees and contractors are accounted for. As a precaution, air monitoring is being conducted in the local community. That statement goes on to say, here at this time, there are no readings that indicate public health concerns. There have been reports of odors in the community around the refinery, and we will continue with precautionary air monitoring. As always, our top priorities are the safety of personnel, the community, and to limit environmental impact. So for those of you joining us here at WSAZ Plus, that is the statement we just received from the company about what occurred here this evening at the refinery in Catlettsburg. We were following that breaking news for you throughout the afternoon, and there were lots of questions, understandably, from people that live in that area that just reported and said, look, we live here, and we see that, and to us, that's just not normal. And that's when we started asking questions, and finally, we have answers this evening as to what is happening. We have our reporter, Caden Bonecutter, still in the area speaking with people that live nearby. A lot of them were very concerned and were asking us, are there environmental impacts? Is this something that's going to require us to shelter in place? Do we need to be worried about our health? And it seems as though from that statement from Marathon that they're saying everything is under control and that they're going to be doing that air monitoring just as a precaution, but that there's no need for worry within the community about what happened here this evening. So just a real quick recap. I'd just like to catch everyone up. If you're just now joining us on WSAZ Plus, a real quick update here on breaking news that we're monitoring here at WSAZ this evening. It was earlier today, and let me share that viewer video with you again to show you this was sent in to us after this was first reported today, a viewer that just happened to be driving by the refinery and caught this video to show the thick black smoke that was coming from those stacks there at the refinery. And a lot of people then started calling into our newsroom and were very worried seeing that, just saying, this is really not normal. This just seems out of the ordinary to be happening here. And after we got those reports, then we started looking, and this is what we saw, to see the thick black plumes of smoke that were billowing into the air. We first saw one earlier on in the afternoon, and then we started seeing another nearby, and it just continued to get thicker and thicker there in the air, and darker, and it was a real kind of odd scene as that sun was setting and creating that haze there over the county. And at that point is when we started reaching out to 911 directors that were telling us they had been in constant communication with Marathon and different agencies in the area to try to get a better handle on the situation. And just this evening, we did receive a statement from the company to tell us a little bit more about what was going on. One more time, I'll share that with you here to give you their exact words as to what happened at the refinery, saying it was a third-party power interruption and operating conditions at the refinery made a process called flaring necessary. And they go on to explain a little bit more about what that is, because we had questions too when we first read that line. So they go on to say flares are safety devices that allow for the safe combustion of excess materials under certain operating conditions. So after you hear that, then you wonder, okay, well, are there safety things that I need to be worried about if I live nearby? Well, they said that trained teams are there assessing that situation still at this hour, and that no injuries had been reported, everyone accounted for, and that they were going to be doing some air monitoring as a precaution. But they go on in that statement to say that even though they've been getting reports from people that live in the community of odors and seeing that thick smoke in the air, that this time their readings are indicating there are no public health concerns. And they have those monitoring devices there at the refinery so they can keep an eye on that themselves. And they say that those readings so far are coming back and showing no reason to be concerned this evening. So that's the very latest on what we know about that situation that's just come into us. That's why we joined you here at WSAZ Plus with that breaking news. We're following up on this still with more questions and any new information that comes into us throughout the night from the company, if they're going to continue to do this and if they notice any changes in those readings. Of course, we'll let you know here on WSAZ Plus. We'll also have reports coming up for you on the Tri-State CW at 10 o'clock and on WSAZ at 11. So you can tune in with us then. For now, I'm Taylor Eaton signing off WSAZ Plus. We appreciate you joining us. Remember, you can always get your news on your time by watching WSAZ Plus on any of your streaming devices. We appreciate you tuning in here, everyone, as we get you caught up on that breaking news. We'll have more for you at 10 and 11.